Here's my 1977 cb750 I picked up on Craigslist for $1,200. I took this photo here at the storage unit where I met the guy. So first things first, I just want to bring this thing home and bring it for a test run. Alright, so the thing runs pretty good. It has 28,000 miles on it, which is pretty high for a motorcycle, I guess. But right away, I'm just starting to tear these things off. Like, it's got tassels, these footrests that are pretty high, the mirrors, everything's coming off. Here's a quick picture of how it looks in the end when I'm done with the build. I think it came out pretty good. Didn't cost me much at all, and it was pretty easy to do. So, first things first, I tore everything off. I stripped the bike down. I painted the wheels, which is regular spray paint. Took the forks off, and I chopped the fork springs just to get it more of like the cafe racer look. You can see the copper piece here. It's a piece of copper tube. I cut that out of the spring, and then I got a copper tube that was the same size as the spring part that I cut out. And you can see here where I put the copper tube back on the rebound rod. Put it back together that way, and it comes out like I cut 2 inches out of the spring. The spring is 2 inches shorter, or the fork is 2 inches shorter. Next thing was painting the gas tank. I just sprayed primer and then a spray paint. This is a camo spray paint with a glossy clear coat. So this came out, usually it would have been flat, but after the clear coat made it pretty glossy. The next most important thing for me is the handlebars. I got these bars that were just like a lower rise. Gave it just a much better look, black. I want to get rid of all the chrome on there. So here it is with the black wheels, the lowered forks, and I still have the seat on there that I got to chop off soon. Here are the lower black bars, how they look. I like this height. I don't want them too low like those clip-ons and be all hunched over. I mean, maybe it looks cool, but I don't think it's really that comfortable to ride on. So I just went with these bars. I think they're really nice and comfortable to ride with. So next thing, I'm going to mount up the gas tank, see how that's starting to look. And really just starting to mock it up, get ready to do the rear subframe and get that seat ready to go. But as far as the gas tank, looked kind of plain this way, so I got a Honda decal that kind of made the tank look a little more finished. I think it did a good job doing that. I just bought this sticker on like eBay or something. It was literally probably like $5. As far as the tachometer and speedometer, I just kept those the same. They're stock.
No headers.
Here it is with no header, so I had to start it up. It sounds like a bubble machine. But next, what I did was I spray painted the headers with a high heat paint, like for grills. So I painted the headers, I took them off, and the rear part of the exhaust, and then I heat wrapped them. I bought this heat wrap on eBay. It's got like these stainless steel zip ties, and you literally just wrap it around. Pretty easy, makes it look good. It kind of matches the paint. And then I got some brackets to relocate the headlight. I wanted the headlight to sit a little bit lower. And the headlight is also from eBay. It has built-in left and right blinkers. I actually ended up putting back the stock one on because this thing wouldn't sit center. It just looked dinky. And it was kind of cheap. I think it was like $25. So I ended up taking this off. It's too small. I put the stock one back on. It looks much better. But getting ready for this is the hardest part. Still pretty easy, but you know, the most involved you're going to have to do. I ordered this seat on eBay. So here I'm kind of mocking it up just to make sure it kind of fits. I also got a metal U-bar on eBay that was already bent. So what I did here was figure out where I'm going to cut the rear part of the subframe off, and which you'll see in the next picture. I cut it off right behind the rear shock mounts, and then I cut a V in there so I could bend this upwards because I want my U-bar to have a slight incline or angle towards it so it doesn't rub on the seat. So I bent this up, and then I welded it in place just like so. And then I get my U-bar, and you'll see I weld the U-bar in this spot, just like here. So get a close-up of the welds. It came out really strong. The reason I did this is so when the back suspension goes down, it doesn't rub on the tire, especially if you could fit 2 people on the seat. Next problem was the seat pan is flat. So what I did was took the staples out. That's a picture of my ugly weld. It's literally like a $200 weld that you plug in the wall. So I took the staples out of the seat, peeled peeled back the fake leather and just cut the plastic part of the seat pan and just made it bend to the contours of the new subframe I mounted up. And here I just put black spray paint on there, primer, and then spray paint. It holds up really well. It's been lasting a long time, and it looks good. So after I got the seat to bend by taking the staples out and cutting into the plastic so it would flex, here is how that came out, and it looks great. I measured so that the end of the seat would fit right, or end right on top of the U-bar. Here are some brackets I welded on that came with the seat. I welded these up so you could actually screw the seat down and take it back off with 10mm bolts underneath. So here's how it's looking so far. It's looking like it's already almost done, and all I really did was the subframe seat, the gas tank, pipes. I painted the exhaust. I got this, the rear brake light is over here on the license plate. This is the first cafe racer that I kind of built. I built another one after this, and what I would have done differently is put an LED strip on the rear subframe, because this has the daytime running rear light, brake light, and blinkers built in, all in one, and that just tapes right on to the back part of the subframe. That's the only thing I would do different on this one. I don't like having the brake light right there above the license plate, and it looks okay, but I'd rather, it just looks a little bit better having that on the rear part of the subframe right under the seat. So you can see it came out really pretty good. I put some brown grips on just to kind of tie in the color of the seat. The paint's been lasting a long time. It looks real good. The bike runs pretty decent. I mean, I know it's got high miles on it and everything, but that's really all I did to it. And I think it came out great. I probably only spent a total of, the bike was $1,200, and I probably spent, $350 in parts. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.